Welcome.
Good afternoon. It's nice to be on the bus today. Like you said, it's a few days to Christmas, but it's with mixed feeling. I'm expecting Christmas actually.
You're expecting Christmas, or you're expecting Christmas gift? Okay, yes, we have our amazing guests, of course. Today we have the ones that are regular, and we have a new face here. I'm going to start from the far right end. We have Honorable Ashiwaju Abayomi Oke. He's a politician and a social commentator. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
How's your journey having to come down here all the way?
Not bad, really. It's Nigeria, you know.
Okay.
What do you expect?
All right, welcome to the show. And yes, we have Barrister Justin Apovi, rather, as Shade. He's a journalist and a media lobbyist. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you, Blozo. Thank you
Welcome.
so much. Yes.
Okay, and we have another politician in the house and a social commentator too. And his name is Honorable Gumuyiwa Kolawole Sunday.
Thank you so much.
He seems to be a very gentle soul.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, guys, we have a lot today to talk about. But first, I want us to go on a short break, and we'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. You're still watching The Buzz. Okay, welcome back. You're watching The Buzz. Wow, we might not be having visuals today because, you know, this is what we call technology. Something can just go wrong all of a sudden.
Yeah, actually.
Yes. And yes, we don't have a phone number yet for you to call on to join in the show, but hopefully before this week runs out, we'll definitely have that so that you could be part of the show. Moving on, in other news, social media news, we have soldier killed as army wades off insurgents who disguised as aid workers. The Nigerian Army has repelled an attack by Boko Haram insurgents who disguised as the humanitarian workers at Gudumbali community in Borno State. In a statement on Sunday, Colonel Onyemawa Chukwu, the Deputy Director, Army Public Relations, Operations Lafia Dole, disclosed that the insurgents on December 14th attempted to infiltrate the community disguising as humanitarian assistance team. Nwachukwu said that the insurgents took advantage of the ongoing distribution of relief items at the place and opened fire on troops' location. He revealed that another set of insurgents on mounted gun truck engaged the troops in first gun duel, adding that the troops successfully repelled the attack. And to cut the long story short, the army spokesman also added that the troops recovered bodies of some of the neutralized terrorists, large quantity of ammunition, and 8 rocket-propelled grenades, RPG charges. According to him, the troops have been reinforced and normalcy restored to the area. Well, that is, I was actually happy when they were able to, you know, do something about that, and everything seems peaceful. Let me start from Honorable Ashiwaju.
Okay.
Like,
The gist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one that they were able to, repel the attack. And this goes to show that these insurgents, they are hell-bent at devising any means to ensure that, they perpetrate their evil work. So our intelligence needs to be, more activated, so that they would know when they are planning this. The military, Nigerian military is the best as far as I'm concerned, if they truly want to work. You understand what I'm saying? So things like this, and we should give kudos to them for repelling the attack anyway. Okay.
All right, Barrister. Let's hear you. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Why do I keep calling you Barrister? Mr. Justin, pardon me, please.
Well, I have always said that we are at war. You understand? So in a war situation like this, anything can happen. And just like the Honorable said, it's a good one that we took those guys out. And the Nigerian Army should keep taking them out until the last set. Because as far as I'm concerned, Boko Haram no longer has the capacity to do what they used to do in the past. So it's the last kick of a dying horse. They will always kick. Terrorists will always have this lone wolf attack once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, hitting at soft targets. And soft target is the IDPs, you know, the IDP camps. There is no way, because you don't know the next one coming in a war situation. You understand? You don't know what he's planning. You don't know what he wants to do. So we, like you said, we need to really, you know, do more than what we've been doing, and I need to commend our armed forces, especially at the flashpoints areas. So they are doing a great work for young men who are laying down their lives for us to have peace. What else can I say? What else can I say?
That's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
Okay, Honorable.
I will commend the military efforts. I would say this achievement so far is a Christmas gift. I will call it a Christmas gift for helping in repelling the Boko Haram terrorists, you know, and also capturing them and collecting some weapons from them. So it is a good development, and they should keep on. This is what we are advocating. This is what we are asking them to do. They should work on that and gather intelligence to differentiate the evildoers from the civil society, from the citizens. So I really commend the effort. It is a Christmas bonus.
I like that word, a Christmas bonus. Okay, yes, moving on. This news is something I just want to ask one particular question from it. Well, I'll read it. Skybank's ex-chairman Tunde Ayeni and ex-MD are arraigned for money laundering, granted 50 million bail December 17th. That was yesterday, 2018. Okay, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Monday arraigned before the Federal High Court in Abuja a former chairman of the defunct Skybank PLC, now Polaris Bank, Mr. Tunde Ayeni, and a former managing director of the bank, Mr. Timothy Oguntayo. The duo was arraigned on money laundering charges involving the sum of 4.75 billion naira and $5 million US, wow, which they accused of illegally transacting with between 2014 and 2015. They both pleaded not guilty to the allegations of fraud contained in the 8th court filed against them by the FCC. Justice Nnamdi Dimba, upon request by defense lawyers, granted 15 million naira bail to each of the defendants. Now, my question is coming from this area. Judith, I don't know if you're sharing it. You're bailing out people with 50 million naira and you are saying they are fraud. Like, that kind of amount of money is quite huge. So it's like, I don't know if you understand.
Like, you're thinking, where do they expect them to get such amount of money
exactly.
from to bail themselves? Well, I think the issue of bail has got to do with the is at the discretion of the judge. So, well, we don't know the facts before him or the judge to have made to have set such a bail condition. So, well, I can't really say much about that.
The case is a very dicey one. You know, it's already in court, so we need to be mindful of what we say.
Of course.
You know, so, but I feel that if it's a bailable offense, then they deserve bail. And let justice take its course. But you know, if we try to, you know, I don't know, a lawyer. No? I don't know if it's prejudice or subjudice. I don't know.
Actually.
So if we question the rationale behind why they should be granted bail, so amount, I think we are trying to.
Okay, probably we have to jump that then. Let's jump in. Okay, then Adamawa joins the SSANU's nationwide strike, demands release of the 8 billion naira. The protest was held at Modibo Adama University of Technology and was led by the union's chairman, Comrade Muhammad Haruna Ibrahim, who said they had joined a nationwide protest in solidarity and were demanding the payment of 8 billion approved a year ago as earned allowance for non-teaching staff in the university. Now, the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian University, SSANU, has embarked on a 3-day nationwide warning strike. Members of Adamawa State Chapter of SSANU joined their counterparts in the protest and strike over the insensitivity of federal government towards the plight of its members and its concerns their entitlement. Well, it is also resolved that the federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Education, had informed the chairman of the Joint Action Committee of NAAT, NASU, and SSANU via a letter dated 9th August way back. The approved has been given for the release of this amount of money, being payment of earned allowance for the non-teaching staffs in the university and request for templates for the payment to the union. Okay, this is a bit dicey. There's a letter of approval, but yet they can't find the money. I don't know.
The money will come.
Let me start with you, Honorable.
Let me say the issue of paying pension allowances in Nigeria has become a wide-ranging issue that government doesn't take much attention to. You know, they always leave these organizations to keep striking, which is affecting the education of the masses in Nigeria as a whole. So I don't know why there will be a template of money paid and they don't find the money. Is the monkey that has swallowed that one?
Oh, yeah.
So what I would just say in that aspect is that the government should do the needful. Money should not go missing in that aspect. They should do the needful. They shouldn't let us advocate in that.
Okay. All right.
Are you getting it? So I don't want to say
This is a season of strike. Season of strike because if you also understand that we are in an election year, you know, so some of these strikes are politically motivated. We're still going to have more before February election.
Oh, wow.
So we are expecting it. It's even a miracle that there's no petrol scarcity at this moment. It's a miracle. You understand? Okay, because I know some people who want to use it as a campaign weapon. So, like what he said, if the money has been approved, the money will surely come out. Because it's a change government. We are talking about the President Buhari that's in charge. It's not. We are not talking about.
It's not business. It's not business as usual.
Business as usual. So before the end of the day, you get the latest development, and that is why most of us believe in President Buhari. It's not because it's not a political statement. This is a new. We must allow this process, this change process, to take its course. Because by the time some of us want to stand in the front of change and say, we are used to doing things in the old ways, there won't be any change. That's why I wholly support that initiative that change should begin with me. It shouldn't begin with you. They shouldn't wait for Buhari to change. It must begin with the Okada rider, the pepper seller, the journalist, the policeman, all of us. Because when we all change, we force the leaders to change. That is when we can collectively come together and say, "Okay, you must change." But when we say, no, because for instance, I give you one very little example. When rain falls, a distance of 100 naira with the Okada, the man increases it to either 200 or 150. He say, why is it? Rain they fall.
It's not his fault.
No, but rain they fall. Now the rain they beat two of us. I climbed the Okada, right? So how you take be say now only you the rain they affect. Now I have to pay more.
No, there are other factors. Like the bad road. When it rains in Nigeria,
the roads are always bad. Whether it's rainy,
it becomes badder.
So you see, that is why I keep saying that we should have this change of mentality. Change must begin with us.
Okay.
So now the money will come out. Basically, that's what.
All right. Two things there.
Yeah.
Change must begin with us, and most importantly, it must begin with the civil service. I mean, even the civil servants. Now, money has been released. There is a template that has been released. So this is not the fault of the government. That means somebody who is at the helm of affairs has actually signed that please disburse it. And of course,
but we are taking the word of the union people now.
Yes.
We have heard from the civil.
Well, they said the letter.
Yes, they said the letter. Is their word against the other people.
Okay.
But most times, I feel that the civil servants sometimes are culpable when it comes to things like this.
They are always culpable.
Yes, when it comes to things like that. And I think that now that we all say, okay, President Buhari is in charge, there should be this change and all that, there should be a way that the change will be systematic, or probably as in there will be a systemic change. Systemic change.
Yes.
You know, there will be, in the system itself.
Yes.
Let it be saying that those are the aims of affairs when it comes to civil service. They have this reorientation.
And they are held accountable.
Exactly.
Every blame ends at the doorstep of the government. And I wonder, there are no agencies saddled with this responsibility.
God bless you. God bless you.
So,
And you said something that it's election period, so some of these
things will always come up.
I don't want to also believe that if I go on strike now, or if we go on strike now, it's because it's election period.
It may not necessarily be all the strikes.
But this would be a good time to actually force the hand of government.
Exactly, that's what I feel.
But then you are resorting to blackmail.
No, not blackmail. Not blackmail.
As long as
If there is no loophole, if there is no reason for me to go on strike, I wouldn't go on strike.
Yes.
So, and if I feel that, this person, if I go on strike at this moment, this person will listen to me,
Yeah,
then why wouldn't I?
Yeah, that's true. I like that. Okay, yes, that was a very, how like put a resultful one. So sometimes in Nigeria, we just have to go on strike for the government to know.
Of course.
And you need to time the strike.
Time the strike. So if you don't time the strike, you don't get what
All right, now we're moving on to the topics we have for today, and we're starting with Nigerian Army accuses Amnesty International of working hard to destabilize Nigeria. And the Nigerian Army has, accused them, The Army made the allegation in the statement released on Monday, December 17th. The Nigerian branch of Amnesty International says, and I quote, that being well respected has deviated from the core values, principles, and objectives of the original Amnesty International domiciled in the United States. There is credible information that the Nigerian branch of international non-governmental agencies, well, basically, I don't want to go too far into reading a lot of all this, but we know where they're going now. They're actually blaming it on the Amnesty International.
Well, there's always been a back and forth between Amnesty International and
Nigerian
Army.
It's not about the Nigerian Army alone. Anywhere that there's a conflict,
yes.
You understand? Anywhere that there's a conflict, Amnesty International will always be at loggerheads especially with the federal forces.
Okay.
You understand? So, and in most cases, I want to align with the position of the Nigerian Army. You understand? Because you are screaming human rights violation in the midst of a very bloody war going on. You understand? If you do not put your hand close to the fireplace, you won't feel the heat. They don't know. You sit in your offices, cozy offices with ACs, drinking coffee like I'm drinking now, and you write reports. You don't know what is going on there.
No, yeah.
You don't know what our soldiers are facing. Okay, why one will not concede to the fact that the soldiers should not go, because they are laid down procedures of fighting in warfare. Or, there is no. It's like when a coach will tell footballers, go. This is the tactics we want to use. Go and play. When they enter the field of play, it's a different ball game entirely.
Of course.
Yeah.
You understand? So, but most of the time, the coaches take the blame. They say, players did not play well, they blame the coaches.
Yeah.
The coaches will not enter the field and play with the boys.
Players, yeah.
So that is exactly the kind of situation we are looking at here. Amnesty International will reel out figures. They have been violating the rights of who in the first place we are talking about? Some people who are bent on saying we should not have peace. Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anything. But what I am saying, the rise of who? That's the question we need to answer.
Okay,
please, let me come into that.
The rise of who?
You see, in the view of my colleagues, I won't go down well with it. Because, you see, Amnesty International are not only in Nigeria.
Yeah, we have Amnesty in Nigeria.
They are everywhere, all over the world.
Yes.
Are you getting me? And they have been on course in ensuring that the fight for human rights. Are you getting me? In Mali, they campaign against sexuality and forcefully ensure that the government make law against sexual harassment. The same thing in South Africa against healthcare system, that they were telling the Minister of Health, Mantoedi, that don't use the refugee and the citizen as an example, as a scapegoat of the failure of the healthcare. So the same campaign is going on in Nigeria now.
What is the campaign actually?
The campaign is that, you see, let me tell you, the principle of Amnesty International is that they neither shield terrorism or support terrorism.
But from the way they are going,
So
have you read the statement of the Nigerian Army?
They did not condemn government policy against terrorism. But what they are saying is that the military did not do what they're supposed to do.
Like what?
When it comes to fighting the terrorism, that they are shielding. I think last week we talked about Amnesty accusing the Nigerian Army of shielding terrorism. And we cited examples. In the ID camp, we have many women who have been facing sexual harassment. And these are the military perpetrating these evil activities.
That's just a mere allegation. It's still an allegation.
It's not a mere allegation.
It's still an allegation.
It's not a mere allegation. All these activities, what the Amnesty International was saying is that the military should set up intelligence beyond those, counter this terrorism.
They have come out repeatedly.
Now, if what the Amnesty have not been advocating, the result we have as of 2 days ago against the Boko Haram attack, disguising, they will have come and succeed again.
But we've been repelling the attack, so it's not about what the Amnesty International said.
Let me say this, that in this part of the world, I mean in Nigeria, we should learn how to tolerate criticism.
Of course.
And I think we lack that. Even it boils down to even at the top. When the government is accused of something, they will try to look for somebody to blame and say, oh, it's not us, it's the past, previous government decision and all that. I think that is not too good for us. That's number one. So the army should rather, accept the criticism, accept the report. Now, if something did not happen, these people will not report it. Just like what he had said about, sexual harassment at the IDP camps.
Many allegations.
Of course, even the press. You guys, sometimes you've gone there yourself to do, investigative journalism, and you've actually found. So if there's no smoke without fire, something is actually happening, and that is what.
Why not set up a committee to investigate?
That is what Amnesty International. Let me just round it off here. That okay, fine. Amnesty, you are not seeing it from where we are seeing it from. Then take Amnesty along. Amnesty, this is what we are trying to do.
They have invited them severally,
and they did not go.
They didn't come.
Yes.
They didn't come though.
They didn't come.
Okay, fine.
But they rather sit in the offices and write reports. And the report is jeopardizing the fight against terrorism.
But them not coming, we actually don't have a reason attached to that. Probably they have their reason. But with what is going on, with what is flying around, is because it's like we Nigerians, Nigerian Amnesty, we're not following what they expect us to follow, to attack this this thing going on, this insurgency stuff. So I think that is one of the reasons why think
if somebody sends an invitation to you and say, come and find out yourself, you should come at least there must be benefit of the doubt.
So how did they get this report in the first place?
That's why the Nigerian Army said they just sit in their offices and they be repeating.
Of getting all those reports. They have
from third parties.
Not third parties.
So
they have
but it's still the same thing.
Who actually conduct.
It's still the same thing we are saying, and the army is categorically saying the reports are false.
But let the army at this point bring out facts and figures to tackle. Let's stick with the issues.
Yeah.
If Amnesty is saying so things happen, you set up a committee, come out with a report which says this thing did not happen. It's
but okay, look at it. Look at it from the flip side now. These reports are now affecting our fight against terrorism?
No.
Okay.
How is it affecting
Should I
it?
tell you?
All right, tell
Okay.
us.
Should I tell you?
Yeah.
Anytime they come out with these damaging reports that they've been rehashing since 2012, 2013, and 2014, and if you look through the reports, they are almost the same thing they repeat every other year.
But let me just quickly chip in.
Okay.
Are you saying no human rights abuse whatsoever is going on, is being perpetrated in the North?
How can you, any person, reasonable human, say there cannot be any, even in America? We have cases of waterboarding in America. You know, we have cases of the Guantanamo Bay or whatever. What's the name of that prison they take terrorists to and lock them and throw away the key? So that is a supposedly saner society, isn't it? And they waterboard suspects, terrorist suspects. So there is no way you can say you can exonerate the army of any nation from human rights or alleged human rights abuses. So I cannot categorically tell you that the Nigerian Army is not doing is fighting clean.
Are you suggesting?
But even at that, are you saying this issue should be swept under the carpet? Because
No, but that is why the army, according to the report, has said, "Come, we are ready to take you along." Where are they?
Or are you saying Amnesty should just keep quiet when they see some of these things happen? Because take for example,
it remains an allegation.
Okay, take for example,
It remains an allegation.
what is happening now? What is happening now, even in education?
Now I can allege if I had known you before now, I can wake up and go to the press and say, I saw you with a little girl, and that's an allegation.
Then what do I need to do? How can't
Then
I?
I said, okay,
Of course.
but then